We'll begin. I think for some of you who know me, I generally run directly into practices. So today, as I was connecting to this topic, which is an extraordinarily dear topic to me, the intuition is for me to share more because I have not shared these aspects much except to one or two people. But the intuition is to share more on this topic about the relationship of the human with the Shakti, and in between intersperse it with practices. So I'm just following that intuition. So first, to give a context is I'm a born and a raised Christian. So I think much of what I've learned over the years, both from men and women, and also gods and goddesses, is by the method of connection. My reading is less. I have not had many direct gurus in that sense of it in the physical form. So when I opened up to the aspect of Christ, I learned from my grandfather, with whom I was extremely close, to a point that when I used to go for the summer vacations, that is only when he entered the restroom that I won't be with him. I was always tagging along, and of course, he used to get a bit irritated with me. He was very devout, and his connection with Christ is one of the best I've seen. So I think unconsciously, my body and being absorbed the kind of connection he was having with Christ. So I could actually connect with Christ, beyond going to the churches and all of that stuff. I still can, and it takes a quarter of a second. And I also, like a Roman Catholic, we pray to Mother Mary. So that aspect became very interesting. I used to go, my school was very close to the church. So you have to cross the church to go to the school. So I'll go to the church every morning, and for about 5-6 minutes, I was with the Mother Mary statue till two of my sister's friends found out and they started teasing me. So I had to cut that short. I was a bit shy at that point of time. So I could really connect both to Christ. And when I say Christ, my relationship with Christ was extremely feminine. I feel him very feminine. I can feel his substance, his body is present, and all of that was extremely feminine. A word that I know now, I didn't know at that point of time. So the context today is we're exploring the different dimensions of Shakti. So through Christ, I felt the very soft, very gentle, very feminine aspect. And with Mary, it was always, like my relationship with my mother is also the relationship with Mary. I couldn't directly talk to my father, so I'll go through my mother. So with Mary also, I developed a beautiful connection. I could talk anything, I could ask anything. So that's how my relationship with the Shakti aspect began. Later on, when I went to college, I started connecting to all religions, including, Hinduism, Muslim, Jain, whatever I could lay my hands on, I was very, very interested. Down the line, the interest in tantras came, okay, which I've not shared much to people, but I was very confused, because whatever I read 32 years back, my father had a book on the Kundalini, and contrary to what is being said, with no guidance, nothing, I just picked the book, and that was a magical 45 days. Again, I've not shared these to anybody. 45 days, it was like, I just read, the practices will just come alive, and I was beautifully sailing on a higher energy till I, had my first girlfriend, and things, the attention shifted slightly differently, and I lost the connection. So over the years, I was very fascinated with Tantra, but wherever I searched, I couldn't find a source that was resonating to me. But I used to explore. I used to explore the different aspects of the Devi, the Shakti. For example, Kali, I used to get extremely scared. Okay, and now I have an extremely loving relationship, and I long for the connection. So, to cut a long story short, much of what I've learned is from people. So, for example, many of the people who came to me for one-to-one, interestingly, were Devi, they were worshippers of Devi. And after I do the one-to-one for them, almost what gifts they had would directly be transferred to me, even though that wasn't part of the equation or I wasn't asking for it, it would just directly enter me. And there was one lady who came at a very dire situation, like do or die kind of a thing. And I had to work for 5 days. And at the end of that, like she was a trained, advanced tantric. And at the end of that, I knew everything about Tantra, even though I don't know the techniques, I don't know anything. There was a kind of a gift that was given back. So if you ask me, what do I really long in life is to connect to the Devi aspect and to live with that aspect all through my life. That's what I aspire for. Later on, it's, last, I think, 12, 15 years, the exploration of Mother and Shri Aurobindo. And to just give a couple of examples here, I brought these, the symbols of Mother and Shri Aurobindo, very big ones, and I didn't know where to keep it. We hadn't decided. So interestingly, what I did was I placed it on the table in a horizontal way. Intuitively, I felt, let the symbol also do the sadhana, let it also connect up. So I left it like that, and I have a habit of lying down on the floor. So I was lying down on the floor. My head was just below the chakra, and I had a profound night. The connection to the above was extraordinary that I've never felt before. And after that, I've been bringing that exercise with several people as to how we can connect to the chakra of the Mother Shri Aurobindo above the head. You could do that with anything. And later on, the last 1.5 years, which has been an extraordinarily fascinating journey, troublesome in many ways, challenging in many ways, but evolving in many ways. There was once I was standing outside the ashram samadhi, and there's a lot of tough situations going on. That is mother's balcony. Behind that is mother's balcony, and I mean, for me now, honestly, I'm just sharing myself. I prefer the balcony rather than even going into the samadhi and sitting. That's how I feel, and I could feel the mother's presence. And there was an insight that said, always there's only one thin line that will be given to you. And you just have to walk the line. There's no question of right, wrong. There's no question of thinking. If you walk that line, you're fine. If you don't walk that line, it's a mess. So that's exactly how my last 1 year has been unfolding. So here again, even when I'm in Chennai or even whatever I'm doing, I connect to the balcony and I connect to it above the head. So we're slowly moving to the practice as well. So the you can worship the Devi and the Mother in any which way, as it has been shared, and you could worship it through sound, you can worship it through mantra, yantra, you can do it in many different ways, and each one is a fascinating subject. But to understand a little bit deeper, if you take my understanding, if you take the Mother, if you take the Shakti, she's present everywhere in the world. She's also present within our body. She's also present within the breath. But there are two aspects here. One is the manifested aspect of Devi or the Mother. The other is the unmanifest aspect, which is, you could take it like above the head. So for example, if you take love, the aspect of divine love is not fully manifested in the world at all. And, at a later point, we can go into depth in this. So that aspect of the Mother is trying to manifest, but right instruments are not there. So if you take Devi or the Mother, there are different qualities, as that part we know. But to understand it more clearly, she also exists in the interactions between all of us in nature. She also exists within the body in a manifest form, but there is also the unmanifest Mother. There's also the unmanifest Devi above the head. I was reading some very interesting stuff from Bihar School of Yoga. Like I love Lalita Sahasranamam. So there's a particular book on Soundarya Lahari where they talk about the rays of the Mother emanating like from her 2 feet, okay, above. Now the 2 feet is a pair, one is Shiva, the other is Shakti. So connecting to Mother or Shakti above the head is extremely fascinating exploration. And again, you could connect through any way. You could connect to a photograph. If you, for example, sit with a photograph, if you sit with a sculpture of the Devi for a couple of hours, she will come alive. And I mean, there are experiences which I can share, many can share, she'll just come alive. So today what we'll do is we'll explore two things. One is we'll explore the Divine Mother above the head. And I'm just going to use the feet as a way of approaching this. I'm going to use her feet. So those from tantric traditions take it as Shiva Shakti. Those from integral yoga, you could take it as the feet of the mother. You could take the feet of the Shri Bindu. Those from other traditions, Christians, you could take it as the feet of Christ or Mary, whatever is comfortable to you. As you approach, it will be revealed. But since the permission has been given that we could explore her in many different ways, my interest is body work, as you all know. So my research has been how to explore her through the sensation, through the vibration, through the breath. Okay. The sensation and vibration because of the emphasis given in the agenda, the breath because, for example, many other traditions, including Vyasa School of Yoga, the emphasis on breath, I see the importance of it. So we'll explore. The actual method is a darshan. You're seeking a darshan of the Divine Shakti or the Divine Mother above the head. So those who are comfortable going directly above the head, you can view from there. Those whose Agnya Chakra or the third eye is open, you could view it from there. But the attempt is to have an actual darshan as many times as possible through the day. The second that we would explore is the aspect of love and worship of the Divine Mother from the senses itself, from the vibrations inside our body, from those regions, for example, where we have some difficulty or other ways, we will explore how to worship the Divine Mother. So my suggestion is we'll do a 45-minute kind of a practice, and then which will be 1 hour over, and I'll just hang around for 10 minutes more for any questions or sharing. So kindly close your eyes. And you can approach her in any way. Don't be dogmatic. So for example, in your particular tradition, you approach it, for example, integral yoga people approach it as the mother. You could approach it any which way. It can be male or female. For example, you can even connect to Krishna and connect to his Shakti aspect. It's completely up to you. So take a couple of minutes and connect to your body. The first thing in all our practices, we connect to our body as a manifestation of the Shakti. And the pluses and minuses that we have put into the manifestation. Just connect to your body as a manifestation of the Divine Shakti. And when you connect to your body, you will feel the egoic aspects, which is things that you feel are your pains, things that you feel are your illnesses. But you can also feel the natural parts of your body, things that are functioning on its own, like the blood flow, the breath, the heartbeat. And yet, there is an impersonal part in the body. Here and there, you may feel some light. Here and there, you may feel some goodness, which is in you, but it is divine or cosmic. First, just connect to your body and bow down to it. From whatever I have understood, before we explore the full aspect of Shakti, we bow down to her manifested aspect with the pluses and minuses that has occurred in the manifestation. Slowly, bring your orientation to above. So the traditional system has mastered it when they know how to create a temple. There's a true science behind it. There's a Devi aspect that is invoked, whether through a male deity or a female deity. There is a Devi aspect in that, in everything. So we need to remember this is not just a practice of step 1, step 2, step 3. It is tantric, it is occult, it is subtle. It is an interchange between the human and the above. It's not just a step. You're entering into something real. So bring your awareness to above your head or above your forehead and hold that space in your awareness. With your awareness, hold that space and let that space be as vast as as relaxed as possible. And then if you experience any of the qualities, it's a plus, like the vastness, like the silence, like the height. And then you invoke the divine Shakti or Mother in your own way. It could be by the feet, and I'll be referring to the feet from now, but you could invoke a symbol, a face. It can be just a little bit above your head. It can be way above. It's all up to you. Always work and always are not the same. Each one accesses a particular domain or a particular aspect. That's the whole beauty of the exploration. We cannot say everything is the same. The height difference matters. The quality invoked matters. The part invoked matters. Who you're invoking matters. But whatever you're invoking is imagination and beyond. It's real. Invoke the Divine Mother above your head. As you invoke, you would feel something above, something acting on you. In the exploration of Tantra, sometimes the aspect of naked comes. As far as I understand, what it actually means is nakedness, which means you really don't want to hide anything from the Divine Mother, your dark secrets, your plus and minus. You want to leave it open to her. And this is where vibrations and sensations comes, not just a thought about it. But it's like a child, who goes up to the mother and says, see, I have this. See, I have this wound here. See, I have this thought here. See, I have this strength here. And relying and clinging completely to the mother. So that is the nakedness. That is the being transparentness. So keeping the darshan above as much as possible. Move into your body. I'll be quiet for 5 minutes. Take the mother with you or show her. So there's an aspect of the mother called nearness. So there's a quote that somebody gave me, I'm near you, as a quote by the mother. And from then I discovered the nearness aspect of the mother. She does not need to be too far up on the head alone, above the head alone. So take your awareness to some part of your body where there is some stress and there are some sensations around it. But as you go there, take the mother with you. All of us have the right to do it, to put it that way, whether we are a sinner or a saint. Take the mother with you in a sensorial way. You should feel her. Take her and show her the sensations, the vibrations. Now, wherever you are, within your body, within your sensation, so the art is not to get lost when you're doing these practices. So you get lost when you are looking at the egoic part that is present inside, the pains, the memories. You don't get lost if you're identifying with the non-egoic, that little bit of silence, that little bit of surety, even in the practice. So wherever you are, once again, open to the space above your eyebrow or above your head. And once again, connect to her feet there. The mother or the Shiva Shakti. Now, this is not imagination. This is actual. This is actually how it occurs as far as written texts are there by masters. So just connect to the feet of the mother there. And this is a sensorial experience. Like if you were to touch the feet of a master, instantly a light or a joy would transmit into your body. It is instant. Once again, come back within your body and go to some point where there is where you want to work on. Notice the sensations, the pains, the stiffness, or whatsoever that is there at a sensorial level. Now, like if somebody is observing something with a magnifying glass, how minutely they will observe. And if they were to do it neutrally, they're just observing and offering. What does offering mean here? Yeah, we are inviting the unmanifest divine to manifest more within this part of your body. And the manifested divine within that part of the body, which has got entangled, you're untying the knots. Not you, but you're allowing the knots to be untied by the action of force, by the action of light. So it's a very advanced sadhana, which can be done in a very simple way. But it's not just a practice, it is direct action, direct intervention. So go into that part, minute, minute. Keep the part connected to the feet above, feet of the divine above. and keep the divine with you as you observe. It's almost like you are clinging to the divine and you're observing the part, leaving it connected to the feet of the mother above. Go point by point, clearly remembering that you're inviting the unmanifest Shakti to manifest and the manifested Shakti to become its most true state. When you notice a clog, like something stubborn, resisting or refusing to budge, you can nudge it a little bit to weaken its hold. Offering does not mean passivity. What we can do, we can do. There's a lot that we can do, actually. So if at a particular point, there is the illness which is still gripping, or the psychological limiting nature which is still gripping, with the divine, you can slightly nudge it, you can push it, so that a space can be created in that part for the Shakti to penetrate more. Just a little bit. It's almost like the child is in danger and it's not moving. You're just pushing the child a little away. But you must remember that this would certainly create shifts in the body. It is real. So if you aspire for a true healing, for a true full offering of your body to the divine, where there is some stuckness, at that point, you just nudge the sensation. You just nudge the grip just a little bit. You can move it a little bit here and there, press it down, raise it up a little bit, any direction, but just a tiny push. This sometimes is comfortable, sometimes there is a little bit of increase of the tension, but that's how it is. A gentle nudge and the space that gets freed just a little bit, connected to the feet of the divine above. And then we'll approach it in a slightly different way. Devi or Divine Mother's aspect is simultaneous, multifaceted. It's just our linear mental mind that feels it can just do a little bit. Like if you look at a statue of a divine, and if there's a lot of power, there'll be many limbs, many heads, many faces. The action would be multifaceted. Enter your body, not just in a linear way now, but from 1,000 different points. Across the body, enter your body. Now, you need the divine aspect to be able to do it also. So cling to the divine and take her with you into your head, into your neck, into your hands, into your fingers, into your chest, into your pelvic, into your stomach, into your legs, into your knees, into your feet simultaneously. And you're just showing, you're entering your body from 1,000 different points and you're showing it to the divine. And at 1,000 different points, you have sensations. From there, worship and love the Divine Mother in your own way. In a way of speaking, our mind has to burst, to do this. It's just a metaphor. What it means that is you wouldn't know how to do it. But from 1,000 different points inside, you're with the sensations, you feel the sensations across your body, and begin your worship in your own way. You're worshiping from the 1,000 different points inside your body, the Divine Mother. Now, you come to that point of focus where you're not even thinking about your healing or your well-being. You want to exist to worship the Divine Mother. That's it. To love her. That's it. Obviously, that would mean the 1,000 different points will connect to the feet above, of the divine, and something will come from that to the 1,000 different points, but that's not your concern. You just want to worship. Next 5 minutes, I'll be quiet. And consciously pay attention to parts of your body which you're missing, and put your attention there also. And teach the cells there to worship. But let it be sensorial. As you worship, what we learn from Saundarya Lahari or Lalita Sahasranamam, the different qualities of the divine. Look at parts inside your body which do not have the beauty, for example. And from those parts which have some darkness, the right and left parts are not balanced, or they're not in their perfect condition. We're talking about the inner beauty here, but the inner beauty is not there. From there, worship the beauty aspect of the divine. For example, you can connect to Mother or Sri Aurobindo, connect to their body, connect to their body's substance, and you will see a beauty there. If you focus on the light, you'll discover the light aspect. If you focus on beauty, you'll discover the beauty aspect. Or if it is Shiva Shakti, through the sculptures and images you have seen, inwardly you would know the perfect splendor. Connect the 1,000 different points of your body to that beauty, to that splendor, to that light. As a form of worship, we don't bring the desire into it. Those happen on its own. From the 1,000 different points, worship the beauty, the light, the splendor of the divine Shakti. Come to your breath. There are many different breaths. Discover a subtle breath inside you. Could be anywhere. Normally, I find it in the heart region, the deeper heart. A subtle breath which is almost like a lingam. It's almost static, but there's a tiny flow here and there, like a sakshi, like a present. Come to any subtle breath that you discover in your being now and worship the mother through the breath. Connect the breath to the mother. Keep the subtle breath connected to the divine. Keep your tongue connected to the divine. Slowly we can learn to live our life in this manner. There are many different ways to do this. One is the subtle breath and the tongue, and even your forehead to stay linked to the Divine Mother, and just keeping the body relaxed so that whatever is received through these pours into the cell for purification and transformation, to allow the fuller manifestation of the Shakti in us and through us. We remain quiet for 2 minutes to allow the process to complete on its own. we complete the process for today. So there's some room for any questions or sharings. So this is how I've been exploring the divine Shakti. And even in the body, it's not just those static states of calmness and silence, but even in the body, you will get an extraordinary flow. It could be seen as the flow of grace. It could be seen as the flow of many different qualities. And we can spend an entire lifetime researching into this.